Today we're looking for it. My friend Erin, who is a professional dancer, put on a show of hers. It was written by her and she choreographed it, and it was this really beautiful piece. And like, I don't know, I'm not saying that I'm someone who really always understands art. Sometimes it goes over my head. It can be a little heady for me. But I just like watched my friend do her thing, and I was moved to tears. I was so proud of her. I thought the piece was beautiful. I genuinely couldn't stop talking about it, but every time I would talk about it I would cry because I was both so proud of my friend, but also the topic of the piece just like really moved me. And it was a lot about like, how do you spend your time being the most productive person? And obviously there's really no answer to that. And it's like, is life about productivity or about living? I've never really been a goal-oriented person. If you don't really have anything set up, you're just kind of running on a treadmill. You're not working toward anything. And my work on YouTube has felt like I've been on a hamster wheel for the last 5 years. I was watching Hannah's mega compilation video of all of her what's cheering me up right now. I don't know what the correct grammar is, and I don't feel like sitting here and trying to figure it out. She had just hit 100K. And in her little figgy speech, she was like, I've been working at this for 5 years, and it feels so good to hit 100K. I did some mental math and I was like, oh, I've been doing this for 5 years and I'm only at 11K. I feel like most people understand and know that like doing YouTube in any capacity is kind of like a task that feels like you're Sisyphus. You're pushing up a boulder only for it to roll back down to the bottom of the hill, and sometimes it rolls over top of you. I'm obviously not stupid, I'm aware of that, but thinking about my relationship to making YouTube content in that context made me feel like I was losing the game. Like, and I know that's not really true, but it's like how I'm feeling. And so then that's made me feel very vulnerable to the process of making YouTube videos. And it's like, well, what's the point? I've been running on a hamster wheel. When I was in college, I wanted to do PR for musicians. I'm really glad that didn't work out. Sometimes I do wonder if younger me would be disappointed in the choices that I've made to lead me here. Although that's the same person that got me here, but I was supposed to be living in the big city. It didn't have to be New York specifically, but doing PR for all of these musicians was my goal. But now, in hindsight, I'm really glad that didn't work out, because could you imagine doing like PR for Drake? Not that he was an artist that I was like aspiring to do PR for, but it seems like hellish work. But there was so much promise and excitement at that age about like the prospect of what could be. So I think the it that I'm trying to find is the spark. What am I working towards? Who am I supposed to be? I've been trying new things as far as like, who am I supposed to be? I tried shaving my face and growing out my eyebrows, and I feel pretty with eyebrows and no facial hair. But what's become the problem for everyone is the fact that I'm not shaving my chest. I'm not performing femininity correctly, even though I didn't say that was the goal of me shaving my face. It was an assumption made. And as soon as I started appearing more feminine on camera, as opposed to, I guess, something more androgynous when I had facial hair and short hair, and sometimes I had a mustache, I don't know. But people are treating me differently. Even people who have been here for a long time have started treating me differently. It's noticeable in the comments, and that feels kind of bad. It's like I've done this thing to feel better about my appearance and myself and try things, and I'm not really given the space to do it because I'm not performing whatever you decided of me correctly. So it's the it trying other things with my looks. But here's the reality of the situation. I don't really like shaving my face as an act. I like the result of it. People are trying to get me to shave my chest, and you know what? I'm not going to do it for the time being, because I don't want to have to shave my chest all the time. Because there is a likelihood that I would like shaving my chest and like the way that looks and feel prettier for it. It's not really causing me distress right now, and I don't want it to be a thing that I feel like I have to do all the time because whatever reason. Do I need to get on hormones? I think a lot of people my age have grappled with the fact that we will never retire. So being present at a retirement party felt just kind of strange. It's led me to think about my life a lot and my place in it right now. Like, what is my work? I think everyone goes through this. It's not so much like, oh, what is my legacy going to be? I'm fairly certain as soon as I die, I'll be forgotten for the most part, except for the people who are closest to me. And I've also been thinking a lot about, like, am I just having a midlife crisis? Like, I can't find it, whatever it is. I don't know what I'm working toward. But I know that, like, I don't have it right now. I've had it in the past, but I don't have it right now. Sometimes I wonder if I wasn't non-binary, gender presentation, if my gender presentation was more straightforward, would I be more successful here? Is that something that's holding me back? Is it the fact that I'm not she nor he? Is it maybe the fact that I'm fat? And I know a lot of people in comments might come up and be like, it's like, I love that you're these things. And it's like, there are a lot of people who will probably never watch me for those very same reasons. I'm just like not a conventionally attractive person. I'm an attractive person, but it's not conventional. Is that another thing holding me back? Have I hit my peak on YouTube? It was my goal for a long time. It was like, I'm gonna work really hard on this and I'm gonna grow it. And I wasn't expecting to have 1 million subscribers ever. I just don't think that's the kind of content I make, and I knew that I was in a dying niche, and I was like, well, let's see what we can do. And so now I'm here and I'm like, maybe this is it. Maybe I've hit my peak. And at least maybe in the beauty niche, maybe there's another niche I could explore to help this keep growing. When you work, it's like you're working towards something, but right now I'm not working toward anything. This is a hamster wheel. I feel like I'm working towards something. I feel like I thought I was working towards something for the last 5 years, and now I'm still like kind of in the same place I was around this time last year. Like I'm not much further along than I was. Subscriber-wise, I have maybe some slightly more views than I did last year this time, but I'm more or less in the same place. I have no interest in moving up in corporate America either. I have no interest in really moving up in my job. But the reason I've also kind of just been stagnant at my job and not really pushing forward is because I was working so hard on this. And that's not like a negative thing. That was like a decided choice I was making. But now it's like, if this is what YouTube was going to be for me, then it's like, well, it maybe requires some less involvement than spending a lot of my free time working on it in some capacity, whether I'm filming or editing or whatever. My output doesn't have to be as much as it once was. That's a pressure I'm putting on myself. That's a pressure that really no one in my audience has put on me to produce more. I think being sick for most of the beginning of the year, therefore being forced to slow down my output here on YouTube, opened my eyes a bit. Sometimes I wonder what's holding me back. It's probably myself. Normally it's yourself. Whenever you're doing these like self-motivated things, like making YouTube videos, you have to want to do it for you, and you also have to kind of be selfless in the work. I mean, not completely, like it's not super money motivating for me. I make a little bit of money doing YouTube, but not like a ton. So that's not really a big part of the motivation. But like, I have to like work to keep myself motivated, and I did that for 5 years. There's also like other extenuating circumstances that I'm like, those things, the whole things that are holding me back. Like, was it my fault for picking a dying niche? Like, how was I supposed to know that in 2021, after the pandemic and people started working again, they wouldn't spend their money on makeup or have an interest in makeup in the same way? Blah, blah. My parents retired this year. My brother and myself and my cousin and a couple of my parents' friends threw a surprise retirement party. At this party were a lot of my parents' friends that I haven't seen in a decade or maybe even longer, and their faces have changed. I used to get really annoyed at such events when I hadn't seen adults in a really long time, and there's a lot of that. I haven't seen you since, it used to be since you were in diapers, but now it was like since you were in high school. And now I'm almost like a whole high school aged person aged away from high school. This time it felt bittersweet. Some of those people, that could be the last time I ever see them. Obviously, anytime you are with someone, it could be the last time you're with them. That's not like an age specific thing. Anything can happen. The world's a crazy place. There's also a family member there who I hadn't seen since she was 12, and I caught myself doing what adults do when they haven't seen someone in 12 years. Part of the bittersweet feeling was, being faced with mortality. I thought about my current work, my 9 to 5. I thought a lot about this work, my regular job, this job. I felt unfulfilling, but I don't really know what to do. Do I pivot in both places? Do I pivot in one and not the other? Do I try something else? I don't really know. The only feeling I've been able to conjure up recently is sad, but that's for a number of reasons, not my weird midlife crisis thing. When money's not a motivating factor, fun then has to be a motivating factor. And what would make YouTube fun again? I don't know. Unfortunately, it's not that I want to remove makeup completely, but there's no way to talk about makeup without it being associated to consumption, which leads us to all the problem. And there's like no conscious consumption under capitalism, blah, blah, blah. And then people get annoyed that you say that. And it's like, I mean, that's okay that you're annoyed that I say that, but it is like kind of the reality of the situation. Or I could shift my focus to kind of exclusively talk about indie brands and small brands. Indie brands have their own problems, and also a lot of indie brands heavily focus on eyeshadow palettes, which is on the day-to-day not something I really care about at this time. And a lot of indie brands don't make complexion, and then the small brands that make complexion products that would maybe not technically be considered indie often have the worst shade ranges because they don't have the money to make shade range, and then you're walking down problems. Anyway, like, I feel like talking about makeup on the internet has felt like this fine tightrope walk. No one can walk through perfectly. I don't think anyone can. And I think it's like maddening work to try to meet everyone's expectations of you talking about beauty, which then makes beauty exhausting because you're never going to hit the mark for everyone. And you can't please anyone ever, but then it does make you kind of feel bad when you miss the mark on something. The beauty niche is definitely dead, and there's obviously been more complications. Brand owners and brands being associated with things like the Epstein files and the genocide in Gaza. People kind of getting tired of supporting these companies and buying from them, but then also a whole group of people who really don't care. Everything runs its course. We've been doing heavy makeup consumption for the last 10 years, at least here on YouTube. On TikTok, they've figured out a way to keep it going, but it's not really an interest of mine. I'm making short form to play the game, not because it, like, is fruitfully fulfilling as an artist. I even consider myself an artist doing YouTube. And sometimes when I talk to other creators, and they're like, how's the channel right now? It's like, well, I feel like I'm putting the amount of effort into it that it gives back to me currently. I've been doing other things with my time. I'm debating whether or not I think sitting in my room by myself talking to a camera feels like living, especially when I have a full-time job on top of it. And so then, like, those two jobs combined together lead me to like a 70 to 80 hour work week. Not in recent months, but like it has in the past for sure. And so I'm left to wonder, is that how I spend my time? But also, because I wasn't filming YouTube videos, I thought about, like, would I like to see more dance performances? Not specifically of my friend, but just like in general. Like, is that something I would like to spend my time doing more? That costs money. I don't have the most money. And then, of course, everything going on right now in the world with the war in Iran and the gas pricing going up, which therefore will make our other prices of other things go up, including makeup. Well, maybe I don't want to spend money on makeup anymore. Not like ever, but it's like definitely something that I've been doing less and less, buying makeup. It's not like a habit that I'm consistently doing anymore like I once was. So if I don't spend money on makeup, what am I going to do with that money? I want to move. Not something I think it's going to happen like in the near future, but like that's what I'm working towards. And so then maybe that's a motivator to make more YouTube, because I don't think I'm going to work my way up in my company. At this point, I don't even know if I want to. And there's also, I could just switch jobs to try to make more money. The likelihood of me being able to find a job that has a very similar setup and hours, it's probably impossible. I work from home full time. I work from 6 a.m. to 2:30, and that left me with a lot of time afterwards to work on YouTube. And then it's like, well, then that's going to change this. And it's like, am I afraid that it's going to change how much effort I can put into YouTube? Am I afraid if I get another job and has different hours and is more demanding of my time and mental capacity, is that going to make me, you know, quiet quit YouTube? Do I want to quiet quit YouTube? But I don't know. I don't think I do. I've been wearing makeup a little bit more regularly outside the confines of YouTube. In fact, I have found wearing makeup more of a delight the less I do YouTube. It's not funny, but it is kind of funny. I don't want to smoke cigarettes. I mean, I kind of want to smoke cigarettes. I'm not really a smoker. I hate making YouTube videos in the summertime. And I've learned this over the last couple of years because of the cycle of YouTube and the algorithm of YouTube. It's like, if you stop making content for 3 months, who knows what will happen. When you come back, well, you want to be here to listen. But I've also, like, historically hated summer, even before I was a YouTube content creator. One of my things I'm going to try this summer is to do more fun stuff, which is what summer was for when I was a child, but it feels less and less like that as I grow older. So I want to do more things this summer. I saw my dancer friend perform in a different thing. It was a very different thing, and it was like weird and interesting, and like I don't even know if I really liked it, but I went to it, and it make my mind work a little bit. Where is my other setting spray? Before I went to her performance, I met up with a friend and I had a couple of drinks, just like some happy hour drinks, nothing to get like drunk or tipsy or anything like that. It was really nice. I just like, you know, it was like nice to do something. Again, we come back to the money problem. It's like, I can't do that every weekend or I will not have any money to live and just exist on this earth without losing home. I need to do more of it. I just need to do more things this summer. On Saturday, I got my hair cut and I caught up with a friend on the phone. I think maybe I'm in search of is connection to people, IRL. But I do want to go do more things. I'm not really one for like seeing art. Maybe that's something I need to participate in this summer to have that connection. And maybe the more I interact with art, maybe going to the museum. We have quite a few museums in Pittsburgh. Going to the museums and looking at it and taking it in. Maybe I will get something out of it that I never got out of it before. I would like to read more this summer. So I don't know. I guess my it is people. What's your it? What are you working toward? How are you feeling good about life? How do you move forward? I'm like genuinely asking because I feel afloat. I feel lost. This wasn't meant to be like a I'm quitting YouTube video, and it's not the case. I'm gonna post more videos. I'm feeling, if you couldn't tell throughout this whole video, very conflicted about everything. I've been feeling very directionless, not only on YouTube, but like in other aspects of my life. And it's making YouTube hard to show up to do and show up for as regularly as I once did. And I think, you know, being sick and slowing down and like not focusing so much on YouTube gave me space to think about other things, which may be also partly what led to my little brain spiral. So this was a video to record for me to break the seal of making videos, and then also break the seal of like, every time I feel like I haven't posted a while on YouTube, I always feel like the first video I make when I come back has to be a better than usual video because I haven't posted. And it's like, well, I had to make it worth people's time. I'm not sure if I really done that in this, but I think that's okay. It was really to get the jitters out because I've been feeling so self-conscious. It's like a circular thing. Anyway, that's the video. Bye.